When I was in high school, the way that our school system worked was that you would apply for a college course based on what's called a tertiary entrance score. We called it a TE score for short, right? And you have all kinds of different systems here, but what would happen is you would apply for the programs based on the score you thought you would get, right? Now, the TE score, I thought I wanted to be a journalist. I thought I'd be great in communications. I saw myself just being out there and taking the stories and writing the news. I thought that would be a great career for me. So I was a pretty good student, and so I remember the afternoon very clearly that I went to my letterbox and I opened the letterbox and the mailman had been and left the envelope. That white, window-faced envelope. And I was so excited. I was going to become a journalist. I was going to go to one of the best schools in the area. I had it all worked out. So I break open this envelope and I realize that the score in the envelope is not the score I need. I missed out by 20 points. Now in Australia, what that means is you don't get the score. There's no do-over. You don't get to reapply again. But I had applied for teaching courses as a backup. You see, my daddy's a teacher. My daddy retired from teaching just last year. His whole life, he taught everything from the littlest until the oldest in high school. And my daddy had aspirations of me being a teacher just like him. So what I'd done as a backup plan is I had submitted entry for the teaching courses so I could get a teaching degree just in case the journalism thing didn't work out. Because my dad's all about contingency planning, right? So my dad was ecstatic. He was so happy I didn't get to be a journalist. He was like, my daughter's going to be a teacher. I'm the oldest of 5, you need to understand. So I was going to go off and get a teaching degree just like my dad. There was only one problem with that. I didn't want to be a teacher. I just did it to keep my dad happy. Because I knew in his heart he really wanted me to be a teacher. So what did I do? I just submitted the application because I thought, I'm going to be a journalist, who cares, right? But I decided in that moment that although my daddy at that age wanted me to be a teacher, that I would reach out to someone else. So I reached out to someone who was remotely removed from the family, who I knew was part of the banking industry. So I reached out and I said, hey, do you have any jobs for someone who's straight out of school? I'll be great. Now, I don't know why he said yes, but he did. And so I started with Westpac Banking Corporation in Australia, straight out of high school. I deferred all my college courses, and I became not even a bank teller. I wasn't even that important. My first day in the bank, all I did all day was count coin manually and put it in bags. I did that for 2 weeks. Oh, it was an exciting career. A year went by and I'd done so well in the bank. I had tried everything. I had been promoted. I had done all the courses that I could. That it came time for me to decide, was I going to go and be a teacher like my daddy wanted because I only got a year's grace, or was I going to stay with the bank? And what I decided to do was, despite breaking my father's heart, I decided to stay in the bank. And I had 9 years in the banking industry, and it was truly some of the most amazing things. But what I learned was when I track my career, so much of that has been just say yes now and worry later. And I think as influential leaders, what happens sometimes is we get so focused on getting everything right before we jump that we never say yes. And I think as leaders, we need to say yes now and then worry later. And I wonder in your life right now, is there something that you need to say yes to that is maybe holding you back from some sort of greatness, that you've been thinking about it, you want to do something, but it's holding you back? I wonder what you need to say yes to right now.